Hello, and finally, welcome back to Fanboys of Gaming podcast. It has been a while.
We're back, baby!
Yes.
And in case you forgot, I am one of your current two hosts, Christopher.
I'm Michael, and Justin's on vacation.
Justin's been on like hiatus. I don't even know what he's doing.
He's in Vegas.
Oh, well.
Lucky bastard.
All right.
Anyway,
we have been gone for a while, but at least we have some juicy stuff today. A lot of fun stuff. We have some news on Pokken. If any of you guys know what that is, most of you do. We've discussed it once before, probably I think twice before in the podcast.
Pokken's awesome. I love Pokken.
Yep.
I love the idea. Go ahead.
Some PlayStation 4 gaming news. Some info on the PC port of Batman Arkham Knight for all of you people that are still
They're holding out.
dealing with those bugs.
They're holding out strong.
Some goodies on I almost said EA Sports, on EA Games, and a few other things that we'll discuss later on in the podcast. But the first thing that I want to go to is this article I found about Arkham Knight. How long ago was it re-released, Michael?
It was re-released. I'm trying to find the specific date because it came out originally in June of 2015. It relaunched. What was the date of this article? I'm trying to find it. It launched recently, within the last week or two.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
Now, well, I was asking you how long ago it relaunched, and you didn't answer.
This article isn't specific.
Okay, well, basically, I love this article because in its own words, it says that the game, for those of you who do not know, this game was taken off of Steam because it was, in this article's own words, essentially too broken to function. And it really was. I've seen the horror that is Arkham Knight for PC, and it is something fierce. But it just got re-released, and this may blow your minds. So brace yourself. Grab your desk or whatever you're watching this on, and grab it tight. It still has issues.
Yeah.
Still.
Shocker there. It sucks. That really sucks.
Well, from what the article says, the big issue that people are having, at least in layman's terms, is that people that are playing for an extended period of time and playing on a PC with minimal RAM are having paging issues. And if I'm correct, isn't that when you had issues with saving all of the information at once?
That's what it sounds like. I'm uncommon, but
people with large amounts of RAM aren't having the issue. But obviously, not all of us can go out and buy a quad-core Mac Pro
or a high-end PC and build it by hand.
Exactly. Not all of us are Markiplier. Don't sue me, Markiplier. I mean, so those people that do have those supercomputers, like, good for you guys. Enjoy Arkham Knight. But for those of you that are probably living in your mom's basement and using their internet, and I feel weird as I just realized what I said after I said it.
I thought that was a direct insult on me. I didn't think it was like we're common nerds.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize what I said.
It's okay.
Oh my gosh. Well,
I'm a basic nerd, I understand.
We're going to move on from that. For those of you that don't exactly have the highest end of computers, I would still hold off on your download. Because the last thing you want is to get farther into the game again and find it that you can't continue.
Yeah.
Again.
So, real quick, I'm going to go through. So, for the Steam relaunch. Oh, shit.
Hey.
Alright. So, basically, what it says here is if you buy the game before November 16th, you will get Arkham Asylum Game of the Year, Arkham City Game of the Year, Arkham Origins, and Arkham Origins Blackgate. you get them for free if you buy Arkham Knight before the 16th. It's $50 for the game on Steam. So you could pay $50 and just play the other games until Arkham Knight gets patched. And to be fair, those are pretty big games, but if you already own them...
Those are huge games.
Yeah, you're kind of SOL if you already own those games, so...
Something that I want to bring up. Keep in mind that Mike, who produced this game?
Warner Brothers was the publisher. I forget.
They were the publisher.
I forget who ported it, but the reason it's a problem is because the game was built on consoles and then ported to PCs by a separate studio.
Keep in mind that the majority of you viewing are not game makers, and so there are a lot of things that we don't understand. What we may think, well, why don't you guys just do this, this, and this, is way more difficult than it seems. So yeah. I think it's important that we don't judge the people who made the game so harshly, as maybe it should be more directed as this game was developed on a console, and they gave it to someone saying, make this good for PC, make it happen for PC.
Make it work on all PCs. And
they didn't deliver. And I'm sure there's stuff we don't understand there, but you're giving me like a death stare right now, Mike.
I'm upset.
Your eyes were
I'm
huge.
thoroughly upset.
My goodness. Just keep that in mind, that it's not always the game publisher's fault or the producers. They tried to make a really good game, and for the mistake that was made, they're still trying to fix it, and they're trying to give you a really bomb deal.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, Warner Brothers still shouldn't have put it out if they were still having problems. They really should just pick the lowest end PC out there that's new and see if it runs on it. And if it doesn't run on it, at least to a point where it's playable, even if you set your settings all the way down on low, it's still not playable, then don't put the game out. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Hope why you would put a game out that doesn't work. For the worst.
So...
well, we can move on from that before we get too big into it. EA Games. Now this is pretty cool. This is not so much detailed news, but this is more about the NX. And for those of you who do not know the NX, and several of our previous podcasts, the NX is Nintendo's prototype in development that's going to replace the Wii U. And supposedly, the hype for this console, I feel like the hype for this console is bigger than Xbox and PS4 ever had, because we knew what to expect from Xbox.
Yeah, and
from PlayStation. But supposedly, this is going to be the competitor for the PS4 and the Xbox One. At least that's what the hype is saying.
The hype is that it's going to beat the crap out of it.
And
I own both PlayStation and Xbox, but it's supposed to have the newest technology that they can put in it to make it run the fastest that it can. That's what it sounds like. That's what the rumors are, but we won't really know until Nintendo pulls off the cloth and they're like, here's the NX, whatever we call it. Actually, it's not the NX anymore, but you know what I mean.
But moving on, basically what the news is in their own words, in this, I lost it.
Which quote are you looking for?
Oh, I found it. EA Sports is going to evaluate any and all opportunities to support games for the NX. And this is like a big deal. And for those of you who don't know why it's a big deal, the Wii U has, it's widely known it isn't doing nearly as good as Nintendo hoped it would. And one of the biggest reasons is that it's really hard for third parties to create games for it.
No, to be fair, they just don't want to.
Well, they don't want to, but...
Because they don't think they're going to make any money on it. It's not that anything wrong with the system, like Zombie U. They made it into Zombie.
Well, what I'm talking about is games that already are designed for the for, let's say, the Xbox One or for the PS4. To incorporate that gamepad, it's not just porting the game.
No, you have to come up with a whole new menu setup.
It's adding new elements to it, which can be a big deal, especially because the Wii U isn't doing so well. It's kind of...
And the
not
hardware's
having
not
its cake and not eating it either.
Yeah. The hardware's also not compatible with a lot of graphics. They would have to downscale a lot of graphics, rendering times, loading distances, things like that, to get it to run on it, because it's just not a powerfully built system. That's just a fact.
I mean, everyone points out that Wii U's graphics are way ahead of anything Nintendo has ever had, but you also need to keep in mind that the Nintendo characters being rendered aren't all that intricate. You know, like, yeah, you see Mario and you can't even see any pixelation in his face. Well, you know, he doesn't really have all that much to him. He doesn't have, like, crow's feet. He doesn't have, like, an intricate jawline.
And he's only 2.5, usually. 2.5 dimension.
I don't know what that means, but I'll give that to
It's 3D, but a 2D side-scroller. Do you understand?
Yes.
They're 3D character models on left and right platform.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, they put detail in him. They just don't put, like, they don't have a full character model like they did for was it Super Mario 64, where you go on the paintings and stuff like that? You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. May I continue?
I'm just saying, go ahead.
Thank you. And basically the big deal here is that apparently, you know, EA is hopping on this bandwagon too. Like, they're even going with the hype. Like,
and that's
keep in mind, the majority of what we know is rumor.
True.
Just rumor. And EA Sports is like, done. We're in.
Well, yeah, Nintendo had actually already sent out the developer kits for the Wii U. You remember? Or not for the Wii U, the NX. You remember us talking about that? It was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So EA's already gotten their hands on the NX. So if they like what they're seeing, of course they're going to want to make games for it. They probably got one and were like, this thing's actually way cooler than we thought it was going to be. Alright, yeah, we'll definitely make games for this. So
I'm very, very excited for this. Mike, why don't you? I've been talking a lot. Why don't you talk about? Pokken?
Pokken? Oh boy.
Yeah.
Right. So, let's see here. I want to find the specific date that this was added. All right. A new video for the Japanese arcade version of Pokken tournament reveals the character who appears to be a boss, Dark Mewtwo, battling a Gengar. What's unclear at the moment is whether or not Dark Mewtwo was created specifically for Pokken, or if the Pokemon Company has any grander plans for the creature. Dark Mewtwo is it seems like a variation of Mewtwo. Kind of like how, oh hell. What's the guy that could go in between dimensions from Diamond and Pearl?
Giratina.
Yes. How he has two different forms. It looks kind of like that. It's still Mewtwo, but he just has a different variation. And then he transforms into a mega version of that.
Yeah, so that would quite be an interesting branch evolution without any evolution. Not only does he have two mega evolutions in his normal form, but if he was Dark Mewtwo, he has a mega evolution in that form too.
Exactly.
So make him, I believe, the only Pokemon with 3 mega evolutions.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that this is a reveal. I definitely think with Pokemon Z being developed.
True.
I definitely believe that this is a reveal.
You think we're gonna get Pokemon Z before we get a new generation?
Yes.
Huh.
Yes,
I would have thought they would have released Z like in between this year.
Yeah.
Because we didn't even get a Pokemon game this year.
Not yet. No.
We're not going. There's no announced. Well, there's Mystery Dungeon.
But
it's not.
I know what you mean. There's
Pokemon
no standard trading Pokemon game. Yeah. I get you. But that's a different topic for a different day. But I could definitely see them revealing in this game, because think about it. I don't believe there's ever been a Pokemon or a variation of a Pokemon that was in one game, even though it wasn't in the standard games. I don't think there's ever been a Pokemon that's been in a game like that. But then again, there hasn't been a game like Pokken.
Exactly.
Closest thing was Smash.
Interestingly enough, so it's coming out on the Wii U in 2016, so we'll probably see it at E3.
Makes me want to come out on the NX.
I know, right? I wish it would. I wish it would just dual launch all the good games. Just launch them on the Wii U and the NX. Anyways, so Pokken, where it derives the name from, Tekken, is being developed by Bandai Namco, who makes Tekken. That's awesome.
That is the point.
That's funny. I think it's ironic.
But as Mike told me, the game has already been released in Japan for some time now. So we didn't really talk about that when this first came up. We just said Dark Mewtwo is being revealed for Pokken, and people are like, I haven't even played the normal game yet, and now they're adding a character onto it.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, there's no home version yet either. This is just, as far as I know, there isn't a home version in Japan, so it's just they added him to the arcade version. So I don't know how that works. Did they update him? Like, do they have people go out and have to update each individual machine?
I couldn't tell you.
I have no idea. It's just
maybe it has automatic updates. Maybe it's a new type of arcade machine.
True. Japan's way farther ahead of us and stuff like that. So,
I mean, we don't really have active arcades. The only arcades we have are usually machines that sit there for like years at a time until they're replaced.
Yeah, exactly. There's an Angry Birds game. It's horrible. I played it. It's awful.
Yeah. Let's see. Titanfall 2.
You want to go with Titanfall 2? Alright.
Titanfall 2. For those of you that do not know what Titanfall is, if you recall, the Xbox One's release was, I think, about a month after Call of Duty Ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
So almost everyone, because everyone's impatient and no one wanted to wait a month, they bought it for 360. And the one didn't really have a shooter.
Yeah, I mean, it had Ghosts, but...
It had Ghosts, but everyone already owned it for the 360.
Yeah, it wasn't a new game at that point.
And so and of course, Microsoft and developers saw this, and they developed Titanfall. And Titanfall's made by some of the same people that created Call of Duty. It's essentially it is a first-person shooter with just some added...
Respawn made that, and I think Respawn is the people that made Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
Infinity Ward. I think that
I
was
personally think this game is really fun.
It's not Titanfall.
It was a game. We've played it in Ramblings actually. Mm-hmm. It was a game that was only meant to be a filler until we got our first Call of Duty game or our first Halo game or any really heavily awaited for titles on the Xbox.
Yeah, because they didn't have Halo, they didn't have Call of Duty. Mm-hmm. So you're kind of SOL when you bought the Xbox One for shooters.
But this game was definitely fun, and they added the twist to it. You know, it's not just your everyday first-person shooter. They added in the Titans, which are basically huge mechanical androids that you have operation over. There's the chest is a cockpit, and then you've got full motion control over arms and legs. It's essentially like being in a mantis in Halo 4, only with more abilities.
It kind of reminds me of the stuff from Pacific Rim, but smaller.
I could see that.
The robots are smaller.
And
Still
you
big.
You can basically be Spider-Man, because the range of motion in Titanfall is more so than any first-person game I've ever seen. More than Advanced Warfare, even though you can use that burst jump, go in all different directions.
Yeah.
You can essentially climb like a 10-story building.
Yeah, you can wall run a lot. You can jump. Is there a grapple?
I
don't think so.
I don't believe so. No.
I don't know why grapples aren't used. Grapples are amazing. I'm all for grapples.
Exactly.
Anyway,
I don't think there was, but so Titanfall 2. Now, one of the rumors for Titanfall 2 is supposedly it might not be first-person shooter anymore. Supposedly. I don't really understand. Mike and I discussed this. I don't really understand why a company would go from a first-person shooter to a third-person, given when you are in a Titan, you are in third-person.
Well, here, let me reread this.
No, you're not. You're in first-person. What am I saying?
Okay, so after they had talked about... there's a little bit of talk about Titanfall 2, which is they can't really say anything. He said one of the developers says, but he says it'll be promised to wait. It might be a multi-platform release. It may also have single player, but Respawn doesn't really know yet. So after that, it says, in other recent Titanfall news, Respawn has announced a partnership with free-to-play giant Nexon for free new Titanfall mobile games, plural. The first of which mobile game will launch in 2016 for iOS and Android devices. Little is known apart from the fact that the first game, mobile game, will not be a first-person shooter. The mobile games are being developed not by Respawn, but rather by new LA-based studio Particle City. In addition,
so they're based.
So in addition to these mobile games and Titanfall 2, Respawn is working on a mysterious non-Titanfall game. So
mysterious.
So the mobile games that are coming out will not be first person for sure. To be fair, it doesn't say. There's no clarification on whether or not Titanfall 2 will be first person or not. I assume it would be first person because it's kind of weird to jump around perspective like that. Unless you give people the option to choose between third and first, but that's very rare in games.
Yeah.
They usually lock you into one because it's just easier to master one or the other.
If there is a variation of two, one of them goes widely unused.
Exactly. Like Call of Duty, you're never going to play Call of Duty in third person. That's just not going to happen.
Modern Warfare 2 had a playlist team deathmatch from third person point of view.
Did it really?
It did.
It's been a while. That was you said what, Modern Warfare 2?
Yep. Try using akimbo P90s in third person. It's impossible.
Try to use a shotgun from the hip in third person.
I mean, you still got your crosshairs. It's just...
Yeah. Well, that was my problem with Halo when you couldn't aim down sight. Shit drives me nuts.
Yep, Halo made it really hard to play multiple first-person shooters at a time.
Yeah, it did, because it was only hip fire until recently.
Yeah, Halo 5, awesome. I've been playing it. Mike has been playing it.
I enjoy Halo 5.
And we may as well branch into one of the topics I didn't mention earlier. Is we're going to talk about Halo 5's multiplayer issues. Now, in itself, in single player, I have not been able to see personally any technical issues. Been playing by myself, but when Mike, Justin, and I tried to get into a fire team to play the campaign, it was,
dear Lord,
oh my goodness,
there
were people walking through walls.
We couldn't move.
Justin was moonwalking into a wall.
It was terrible.
It
Holy
was
crap.
terrible. I was shooting that grunt for at least 2 minutes and didn't make a scratch. Yeah, it was absolutely terrible. And we also discovered that the multiplayer has the same issue.
Yeah, it was just as bad.
It was horrible.
Which is weird because I read an article the same day. Somebody put, because I was talking about this in Fanboys of Gaming, the Facebook group, excuse me. And everyone was saying, no, I've been having no problems at all with the fire team or just playing by myself on multiplayer. And I'm like, it's fine when I play by myself. Like the multiplayer is just fine. I'm like, but for some reason it screws us all up when we play in a fire team on multiplayer or in campaign, and that doesn't make any sense to me. And somebody posted an article about how Halo 5 launched with a perfect multiplayer launch with no server crashes or anything like that. And almost everyone was able to play together. The only time anybody had that issue is very few, and we just happened to be unlucky enough to be those few.
Yeah, but we have uncovered that we are not the only ones. There are several incidents of people saying that it's impossible to function in a fire team.
Yeah, and that sucks because you really want to be able to play multiplayer together, and there's a whole option for a campaign to play as co-op, and when you can't play it, then what's the point?
Right.
And there's no split screen, so you just can't play with people at all if you're unlucky like us. Yeah,
I'm so lonely.
But okay.
Why don't you tell us about this superhero adventure?
Ooh. Okay, so I saw this earlier today, and it's interesting because this got announced, I believe, today instead of at Paris Games Week, which is really weird because it seems like something they should have announced there. So it says in here, if you ever dreamed of seeing the world through Superman's eyes, you'll soon get the chance, as Sony recently announced first-person superhero adventure Megaton Rainfall is headed to PS4 and PlayStation VR next year. It's inspired by Superman 1 and 2. Spanish indie Alfonso del Cerro's pentadimensional games will transform players into an invincible super being tasked with defending the Earth from an alien invasion. The entire planet is the battlefield, as players will be able to fly at supersonic speeds between procedurally generated cities to fend off the extraterrestrial menace. The avatars are indestructible, the cities are not. So the player has to limit damage and loss of life from alien attacks. The only current release window is 2016, but there's a teaser trailer, and that will be in the links I put down below. But
Man,
it looks awesome.
You read so boring.
No, I'm just trying to like put it out there so that people can hear it, and then we can talk about it.
You need to like put some emphasis and stuff. My goodness. What were we talking about? I just zoned out. Oh yeah, superhero. I think this would be fun.
Megaton Rainfall.
I could also see a lot of vertigo coming from this game.
I can't wait for PlayStation VR to come out. It's probably like when I get it, I'm probably only gonna buy like 2 games for it, and they're probably not gonna be that great. But I just want to be able to like get into it. I'm excited for it. I don't know if it'll be commercial success, but that doesn't mean just because a product doesn't commercially do good that it wasn't good. Like the Virtual Boy was terrible. It didn't do good because it was terrible.
It is a piece of gaming history, though, and I would love to get my hands on one.
True.
Any viewers, maybe I'll open up a P.O. box. If any of you happen to see a Virtual Boy in your local, they're still around. It's just very rare.
That's true. Virtual Boys are very, very hard to find. They also give me a headache.
They give everyone a headache. That was one of the big red flags that rose up.
Exactly. So the last thing we have is Paris Games Week.
Paris Games Week.
Oh boy, oh boy. So as far as I know, at Paris Games Week, Microsoft didn't announce anything because I feel like I would have seen it while I was looking through this. So this is basically all PlayStation news or things announced during the conference that are still multi-platform. So there is some general news in here, not just PlayStation specific. So I'm just gonna hit some of the points, and some of the points I want to talk about. Some of them I don't.
So many games.
Yeah, so many games. So No Man's Sky got a release window of June 2016. I'm excited for that. Somebody had also posted an article about how they were having issues on it. Issues making the game on the PS4, which I've heard some people speculating. This is just people speculation. It's not even a rumor. It's just people's thoughts that No Man's Sky may come to PlayStation VR, which would be freaking awesome because you get to fly around in a spaceship and wander these planets, and to do that in first person would, like, in a VR headset would be awesome.
Right.
Let me have you seen trailers for No Man's Sky?
Excuse my yawns, viewers. My eyes are watering out of the blue. I don't understand.
Have you seen the trailers for No Man's Sky?
I have not. Have you?
Yes, I have. I have obsessed about it because I'm very, very excited about it. So basically, did you ever pretend to be an astronaut or something like that when you were a young child?
Maybe.
You know what I mean? You know how children play pretend, and they pretend to do these things.
I understand.
Okay, well, that's what the game basically is. You're in the middle of space, you go and you do basically whatever the hell you want to do. There's a general theme to the game, but they refuse to acknowledge what it is, besides get to the center of the universe. There's something there, but they won't tell you what, obviously, because that's the main objective. But you can pretty much do anything else you want on the way to get there, if you even want to get there. So you're flying around in a ship, you're going on the planets, you're going underwater, you're collecting minerals, looking at plants, and you're just exploring the universe that they built. And I think it would be really, really awesome to just explore a universe in first person VR. That would be amazing.
Yeah, that would most likely take a lot of data, though.
True.
Do all that.
Well, that
would take so much.
Well, that's my comprehension with the PlayStation 4 issues is that they're trying to make it work with VR, and that's why they're having issues. That's just my thought process. But yeah, so it's coming out. It's supposedly coming out in June 2016, so probably right before or after E3, somewhere in there. Tekken 7 was confirmed for PS4. Tekken 7 may also be on Xbox and PC. They didn't specifically say, but they didn't say it was a
without Pokemon.
Yeah, they didn't say it was a console exclusive, so it's probably coming to Xbox and PC. Resogun creator showed off a new game, Matterfall, which looks that's like a futuristic shooter, and it's probably going to be side scroller from what I've heard. The studio that makes those games, generally speaking, only make 2D games or 2D side scrolling kind of games, so that's what it seems like that'll end up being. It looks really cool. It's really pretty looking, at least the trailer was. And then PS4 exclusive Horizon Zero Dawn footage was showing off the creatures and the crafting and how you interact with this world. And Horizon Zero Dawn is a action RPG, and it's set in a tone that's almost like Primal, but futuristic at the same time. Humans are primal, but they're living in a world with robotic creatures.
Are you reading this, or
no? I'm just describing it.
Wow, well, it's very vivid.
Well,
I'm impressed.
Well, I've watched a lot of gameplay of it. It looks really, really pretty, but the game doesn't look like it's really ready to be hit the store. You know what I mean? So probably won't come out until next year or the end of next year at least. So electronic music art Avicii unveils new rhythm game. Sony shows off Uncharted 4 multiplayer. Drive Club bikes confirmed, launching today's expansion or standalone. So Drive Club added motorcycles, so I mean that's pretty cool. I don't play Drive Club, so I mean it's of no interest to me personally.
Yeah, I get you.
But it's interesting that they added motorcycles to it. And then Sony this one I'd like to talk to you about. Sony reveals Minecraft-like exclusive Boundless. So because Microsoft bought Mojang, and first of all, I'm kind of surprised that Minecraft Story Mode got put on PS4 and PC, because they could have just put it on Xbox One if they really wanted to. I'm surprised that of course, if they put it on all platforms, they're going to make a lot more money off of it. Microsoft's not stupid.
Yeah, they get it.
So, and I'm trying to find, the game is boundless, and although details were light during the reveal, it has a clear Minecraft illusion, from the handheld tool in the character's hand to the blocky structures surrounding the bustling wildlife.
I thought you said from the busty wildlife, and I was like, what's wrong with you?
I did. It's because my screen's cracked, and I couldn't read the letter right.
What screen is cracked?
Portals to what looked like other worlds were also shown as the player stepped through one. The surroundings and chromatic palettes changed. Not much other than gameplay was shown before Sony cut to its next reveal, but Sony Vice President of Worldwide Studios Europe, Michael Denny, did confirm a 2016 release window. So yeah, it looks very much like a Minecraft clone, which makes sense because Sony's not going to get Minecraft 2, or the PS4 won't get Minecraft 2. So they obviously...
What is Minecraft 2 even going to be?
You would think that Minecraft on the Xbox One and PS4 would have been considered Minecraft 2, and just instead of updating it to match PC, they would just have developed extras for it. That would have just been my assumption. That's what I would have done, but yeah. I'm also not a developer, and I also am not Notch, who has like $7 billion, so I didn't make Minecraft. I feel it. So I don't know. They're trying to get something to go alongside that, because now they're kind of SOL that Microsoft bought them out. Street Fighter V got a release date for February. I'm trying to see if there's a specific date for February. February 16th. And they will be releasing 6 DLC characters the following year after the game's launched. So,
Street Fighter.
And the interesting fact about Street Fighter V is the DLC characters you can buy, obviously, is, with real money, but there's also in-game currency you can earn through it, and you can buy the DLC characters with that. So you don't have to spend money. If you really, really love Street Fighter and you're playing it all the time, you're getting all this in-game currency, then you can buy the characters for free.
Well, aren't they just going to be the luckiest ever?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. It's an interesting business model for microtransactions and DLC. Let's see. Gravity Rush 2 PS4 gameplay footage was shown. I'm not quite sure about Gravity Rush. I know it was originally a PlayStation Vita game that they ported over to the PS4 because it didn't do very well. Gravity 2 Rush 2, which is in development at Sony Japan Studio, launches in 2016. In addition, the developer that ported the Nathan Drake collection, Blue Point Games, is also bringing an HD version of Gravity Rush to the PS4 in December. So, Gravity Rush, the original, is being ported in HD to the PlayStation 4. They did Nathan Drake collection. I beat that. I played it. They made the games look pretty good from PS3, because the oldest game is from like 2007, the first one.
I feel it.
And it looks really good. So I was really surprised by how well it looks. Let's see. Okay, so I have a few more things on here. PS4 exclusive Wild lets you possess eagles and ride bears. Wild was announced at E3 this year, and I was very interested in it because I thought it was it's an open world survival game, so it's just kind of interesting, and it's set in a primal aspect, and we tend to be getting a lot of those this year, and next year. Far Cry Primal is coming out, Wild will be coming out, and Horizon Zero Dawn will be coming out, and that's 3 already, not including whatever else comes out or gets announced.
It's a trending game type right now.
Yeah, exactly. And I bet all 3 of those developers are pissed off that they all made the same game, basically. They made similar games, and they all got announced within the same year. I would be pissed. I'd be sitting at my desk
now
like,
they're
damn,
all like...
so many people had the same idea as us. To be fair, they're all significantly different in their own ways.
Yeah, they're not all the same game.
But they all have the same general theme to them of being primal. So I would be kicking myself in the head a little bit. I'd be a little bit upset.
I'll kick you in the...
PS4 exclusive Dreams beta is coming in 2016. Let me see here if I can... I want to show you some pictures of this game because this is fucking weird. Okay, so Dreams. In the game, players will create their own imp, a tiny floating creature. This imp will help users interact with objects in the environment. The imp can be used to move objects, open doors, as well as communicate with other characters. The imp can also possess characters, vehicles, and inanimate objects to make them move and guide them around the game. Developers also said that every time players open a door, it will lead them somewhere new to a different quote-unquote dream. In the demo shown during the presentation, a developer used the imp to solve an environment puzzle involving manipulating a statue to open a door inside the door. Players found a new character, a giant mouse, in a sweater, and the imp possessed this character to find the next piece of the puzzle. So Dreams is really weird, like...
Yeah,
nobody
like
really knows what the fuck is going on with it, because it's just a really weird game. To be fair, Medium Molecule made Little Big Planet. So,
and we all know how successful that is.
Actually, Little Big Planet 1 and 2 did very well.
No, that was a compliment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, Little Big Planet 3 not so much.
Yeah.
Little Big Planet 3 didn't do very well.
I haven't
didn't
played
do terrible.
Little Big Planet 3.
I played it. It's not really my forte. It's very much a family-oriented game.
You're not my forte.
Okay, so the last things I got from Paris Games Week are some info from PlayStation VR. And some of this I want to hear about from you because of we played Until Dawn. So I'm going to get to that one first. So Until Dawn Rush of Blood was announced for PlayStation VR. And it's technically a shooter, an on-rail shooter. You're in a minecart going through, it seems though, the mines in Until Dawn. But you're not any of the characters from Until Dawn. You're just kind of shooting stuff. They didn't really explain it too well.
Yeah, that sounds stupid for a...
It's not my thing. It looks a lot like a carnival game. Like where you're just shooting ducks and stuff. You know what I mean? Like you're just shooting a bunch of these.
Yeah, this better not be like a real sequel.
No, but it's one of those things where it's kind of like, you really have to put Until Dawn on it. Like, you really could have named it. You could, honestly, I would have rather it been called like Carnival Games or something like that. You know what I mean?
Until Dawn was fine as it is. There's so many games that should just stay standalone games. But of course, if any game is successful in any sort of way, shape, or form, we have to exploit the crap out of it.
We have to milk the crap out of it. We have to make as much money as possible.
And that's when we get Halo 5. Not that Halo 5 is bad.
No.
But the point I'm trying to make is that Bungie saw that they did everything they could with Halo, so they sold it off.
Yeah. They did everything they wanted to do with it.
Yeah. And then 343 is trying to milk that cow now.
Yes. Well, Microsoft made 343 to milk that cow. To be fair, they did a decent job. Halo 5 is a pretty good game.
Halo 5 is good.
So, not Gran Turismo 7. I think 7 is the next one that is coming out. But 7 has not been announced. Gran Turismo Sport was announced for PlayStation and PlayStation VR, which is interesting. I would enjoy playing a racing game in first person.
I'm hearing some music.
You're hearing some music?
Yeah.
No, my PlayStation went to the home screen for some reason. It's probably heard me say PlayStation a bunch. Get out of here, PlayStation. Nobody's talking to you.
Lame.
There you go.
Is your network up?
I'm sorry?
Is your network down or something?
The PlayStation network? No, it's good. Everything's running fine.
Oh, I just assumed because it seems like every time I talk to you, it's down.
No, that's only when I actually want to play it.
But I think that's everything.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
This has definitely been one of our longer podcasts.
I got one more thing. Two more things. Crysis developer reveals new VR game with dinosaurs. Mother freaking dinosaurs in VR. That would be awesome. Anyways.
The Land Before Time.
Yes. Welcome to Jurassic Park. No? Okay. I tried.
Now I want to see someone make a meme comic of a bunch of, like the one with Chris Pratt, like this in front of the Velociraptors, but I just want a bunch of, I want it to be like Littlefoot.
Yeah. Oh, Littlefoot. I miss Littlefoot.
I want someone to make that. Internet, make it happen.
That would be great.
Do it.
And then the last thing I have is Riggs, Mechanized Combat League, got a new trailer, which is a PlayStation VR exclusive. It's only coming to PlayStation VR from what I understand. We got a new trailer. It looks interesting. It's weird. It's just a weird game. I don't really know how to describe it. Plus, I haven't watched the trailer for it in months, so I'd have to go back and watch it. I didn't have the time today to watch that trailer, but it's there. It's there in the links.
I feel it. But anyway, this has definitely been one of our longer podcasts for us, so thanks for sticking around.
We had 2 weeks of news to cover.
2 weeks of news to cover. One thing I want to put out there as well is keep in mind we are not professional reporters or gathering up information. What we are fans, and what we do is we read articles online. So sometimes our information is wrong. Sometimes this is more so an opinionative program for you to watch as opposed to
newscast.
As a newscast, yeah. Just wanted to make that clear for those. Like, for example, I did make a few mistakes today thinking about what's what, and but just keep that in mind, folks. Anyway, fanboysofgaming.com for all of your latest gaming news. Check out our group on Facebook where you'll find fellow fans of gaming. I am Christopher.
And I'm Michael.
And this is my old crew leader name badge. And we'll see you in the next one.